Tema comparing online learning with offline learning at a glance. Currently, almost all or harmfully in every industry that there is an epidemic that has the all countries, namely COVID-19. However, not official distrust the COVID-19 outbreak is a necessity today. So that some take action that educate themselves, their family, friend, and outer beliefs. The change in the learning partners of students who previously went to school every day and are now studying at home are quite helpful in terms of the cost that must be incurred before the COVID-19 outbreak. Routine expense includes the cost of going to school, pocket money for school lunches. Meanwhile, with online learning, all these costs have decreased dramatically. Only for less there are cons and evidence. It includes cooking costs for on family at home. The difference in saving if count FD that has been running for 19 months. Quick lunch which is quite a bit are now to take into account the price of cheap laptops and the price of internet quota every month. Just to remind the author, the compare different needs between offline learning and online learning. The difference in the place of learning between face-to-face meeting and online learning meeting. If learning is done offline, this all students and teacher or lecturer must gather in class because offline learning requires the presence of all student and teacher or lecturer in the classroom. The gathering of many people in one room can potentially turn the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Even that at this time COVID-19 is endemic and has infected many harm, so that the gathering of many people in one room will actually extreme the scope of the COVID-19 outbreak. It's different if we do online learning where there is no need to gather in one classroom. The delivery of learning material is done through online media. We shall not reduce the quality of learning but can play a role in preventing the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Thus, online learning is very useful for maintaining health without the need to miss learning materials. The next difference is the use of equipment to support the teaching and learning process. Indeed, if learning is done offline in the classroom, Student and teacher only use the equipment they already have, namely writing equipment and with the board with markers, so there are no addition costs to be incurred. Not so for online learning, student and teacher must have laptop or computer in order to carry out the learning process in and the addition to needing a laptop or computer, students and teacher practically have to pay addition fee for purchasing internet quota to be able to connect to the internet. So it can be said that online learning requires an additional cost, but we can call it an invest to skill be able to cope with the spirit of the COVID-19 virus. The last difference that I can convey, although there are other differences that I do not write down, is the time required from preparation of learning, both offline learning and online learning. The time need for offline learning preparation is quite long. If you remember the times before the outbreak of the COVID-19 outbreak, at least if you leave home at 9 am and study time start at 8 am, that 2 hours is the minimum time needed for the offline teacher on learning process that takes place. Meanwhile, with online learning patterns, the time needed for the same preparation is very short with this online teaching and learning process. Student and teacher can carry out the teaching and learning process at their respective home. Thus, there is no time wasted just for the trip to school or campus and back from school or campus to home. So that every day there's really be plenty of time available to do other productive active in causing this paper. It can be described that online learning makes it easier for student and teacher on lectures and is safer from the spread of the COVID-19 outbreak, because the place of learning does not have to be at school. Compared to offline learning, we must gather in class. Likewise, the time needed to prepare for the learning process will be less compared to offline learning. However, because offline learning, both students and teachers have to ensure additional costs for both the purchase of quota and the purchase of a laptop or computer as tools for the learning process. While offline learning does not require the additional cost. So, the implementation of teacher on learning between offline learning and online learning has difference with edges adventure and this have thus however with the scarce and condition of the COVID outbreak, the means testing of the teaching and learning must be adjusting to either of controlling the spirit of the outbreak. Thank you.